What is up, everybody? We are doing some harvesting today. Here we have our John Deere S670 combine number one. We have another one that's identical to this one. They're twin combines. On the front of this thing, we have a Shelbourne Reynolds stripper head. If you have never seen one of these are actually very interesting. They're not like your traditional draper heads or flex heads. What they do is they basically strip the head off the plant and they leave the stalk behind, a very tall stalk. And these are commonly used in places where they don't get a lot of rainfall. So, like Colorado out west is where these things are really used a lot at. Where I'm from, I have never seen one of these used. And a lot of the time, these are used in barley or wheat. However, you can use them in oats. I think there's a couple videos on the internet of them actually being used in oats. But this is not a very good representation because in game it just seems to just take out the entire plant when it really should just be taking the head off. So there should still be a lot of stalk, tall stalk. But the idea behind it is it leaves a tall stalk, so then when you no-till and you plant into the stalk left over, it's supposed to, I guess, with a lot of stalk being left, it's supposed to help retain some of the moisture in the ground for the next seed to be planted. And obviously, it must work because these things wouldn't exist if it didn't, is my guess. But definitely very interesting. We have two of these. The other combine has same thing on it. We outright own these, so we might keep them. We might trade them off. I don't know how I feel about these things yet. You can't use them in beans, and this field's going to be planted directly beans, no-till beans. And you cannot use these things in beans, so that is a downfall there. Whereas a draper head, you can use beans, wheat, barley, canola. I mean, you can use draper heads in like everything. The Shelbourne Reynolds head, it's limited on what crops it can do. So with it not being able to do soybeans, that is a big downfall. And why we might potentially keep these, we might potentially trade them for draper heads. I don't know yet. We shall see. And the other thing I don't like about them is the width. They're not as wide as a 50-foot draper head or a 45-foot. So they're a little bit smaller. So each pass you're taking a little bit less than you would if you had a 50-foot flex head on the front of this. But yeah, we are just getting started here. I've only done a couple rounds. And then the other combine is over there in the corner. He's full. We're just kind of getting set up here. This is first field, so we're just testing the waters, making sure everything's good before we really let loose and knock out some acres. We only have one of our carts so far. We have a second one on order, haven't got it yet, so only one cart for right now. But this crop is only yielding about 115 bushels to the acre, so not that big of a deal. And we're right next to the farm anyway, so it's not like our haul times are going to be, crazy or anything like that. One thing I'm definitely going to look into a little bit, I think, is I have a 4070 Ti graphics card, and on my end, the game looks really good. However, when I edit and upload the videos to YouTube, they don't look as nice as they do on my end. So I'm going to maybe look into a different editing software or potentially a capture card because I want the quality to be just as good on YouTube as it is for me. And right now, it's just not right there. And it's not to a point where I feel good about it. So I'm gonna have to look into that a little bit.